Hey y'all, how's everyone going? I see everyone in chat. So iSo's not here, but I don't want to waste y'all's time. So I think I can try to carry it for a little brief time. But first off, I want to say welcome. So many people. Thank y'all for coming out. Obi Rose, what's up? Rouster, we're going to do some Orcs Must Die here on Saturday. Sanchez, yes, exactly. Let's go. What's up, Simpleton? Simpleton, I saw you wrote a long message. I need to get to that here in a second. Cammy, y'all, if y'all did not see, I watched Cammy's premiere the entire way. So fortunately, Cammy did go along to give me a little time, but did not get it to work out. At least with iSO yet. Windstar driving. Windstar, you working always hard, man. And then, it's about anime. Awesome job. And who else? Wit, I see ya. I see ya. It's Joe. What's up? And Ambi, what's up? Ja, how are you as well? So as you can tell, this is the first time it's happened. So out of 30, what is this? Episode 34 is the first time I don't have my guest here. It's bound to happen. Specific time zone, Eastern time zone. He's a Marine, former Marine. He doesn't get time zone stuff correct, but we'll give him a chance. But in the meantime, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's here. We beat Martha is Dead on Sunday. Very, very, very disturbing game. Thank you, Cammy, and the rest of the chat who picked that one. I had a blast, but I am disturbed and I am still having dreams that would be considered nightmares. But that's okay. Oh my gosh. And I'll wait for him to get his camera on. I just heard someone come on. But this Sunday, I will be playing The Devil in Me. So it's a release that's coming out in a little bit. So I'll be playing it. I know everybody picked A Plague Tale Innocence. I'm going to give it a little time before I go and do A Plague Tale Innocence and Requiem. I think I'm going to do a binge of a franchise here in a second. But for now, I'm going to play this other one. It's still horror genre, so hopefully you all like it. And without further ado, I think we have this this person. Is this? Are they?
Yo, what up? I'm so sorry.
Motion gaming here in I would say the flesh, but I'm gonna say, here. And I'm blessed to have you here, iSo. Can you hear us?
Thank you.
We're doing sound check and audio check here live.
Good? Okay. Yes, I'm good. Are you good?
I'm good, iSo.
All right, my bad. I'm so sorry. It was a long day.
No worries.
We did a bunch of stuff. And I'm be real, I woke up from a nap just right now. And I got my times mixed up because I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay, iSo. It's a shade of purple. What can we say? But thank you for joining us, iSo. And thank you, chat. Cloudy Thoughts. I see. Look at that. Lo-fi Cloudy Thoughts coming through. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, everybody, for being there. So, iSo, we got to jump in here. This is all going to be. Usually we do like a pre-brief, pre-talk, but we're going to have to jump right in.
No, I'm ready. Let's get it. Let's get
it. So first off, your name.
Mm-hmm.
iSo Motion, like sometimes this is like a sports play. We're gonna do isolation motion and
Mhm.
stuff. But what is this name, or as some of the people like to call you, iso? What does your name mean in actuality?
So you actually got it. ISO stands from isolated motion from basketball. It was a 2K, when they first introduced, like, the new move or whatever. My friend actually thought of it, and back then, I wasn't really, like, hard into gaming, so I didn't really have, like, my own thing, and I thought it sounded super dope, and I was like he only made it just for fun. So I was like, "Hey, dude, is it okay if I use it?" He's like, "Yeah, take it." So, pretty much it standed from because isolated motion because of basketball, he made it up. I liked the name, he didn't use it, he let me use it, so, I mean, it worked.
Okay. So are you a basketball player, or were you a 2K player?
So we played 2K and we played like just basketball like casually. So I mean it worked out pretty well. And in other ways, like I'm really big into photography, so the ISO, right? So that's where a lot of people like kind of say my name too. So it actually ended up tying in with a lot of other stuff that I've done. So it worked out for the most part.
Oh my gosh, so you actually use the ISO from photography, like, where you can,
Yes.
like, I just know it if I do it one way, it makes it super dark. If I do it the other way, it's super overexposed. So,
Yeah.
that's all I know about the ISO when I get the
It's
photography.
pretty
So you're
much
gonna have to
like the
do, like, some
brightness.
lessons and stuff. Um, but one thing I wanted to say for anybody who did not know or who's just checking out for the first time, y'all, big round of applause for ISO. About a month ago, he was able to break the 1,000 subscriber mark. He is now monetized by YouTube. Right, ISO, that
Yes.
you are monetized, so you
Yep.
made the big
YouTube
leagues,
partner. Yep.
and we are going to talk about your streaming journey later on. But just so people get it, you were grinding at it for a second. Like, how long were you actually at the YouTube game, uh, putting content out?
Well, so funny enough, I actually did YouTube a while ago, like a few years ago. And I would just upload videos, so I never got big whatsoever. So I just kind of stopped because of other things, right? Just other priorities in life. And then that's when Doc was uploading videos, right? And I showed him some of the stuff I did, and he was like, "Yo, why? What are you doing? Like, you should keep uploading." I was like, "Nah, I'm good. I did it before. It is what it is. Blah blah blah." And he would hammer me for like 6, 8 months, like just telling me like you should keep doing it, you should keep doing it, because he kept showing off his videos, saying how much he's growing. He's like, you need to do it too, and I was like, we'll see. And then one day, Doc hit a pretty good milestone, so I did a video kind of like to mess with him, right? And then from there, I kind of like kicked it off again, like, maybe I should doing YouTube again. And so I decided to do it again, and really, it's all thanks to Doc. I did it before,
Wow.
but he pretty much kept telling me, "Do it again," and I was like, we'll see." And then my fiance like fully supported it, so it was even better and easier, right? So yeah, just from there, I just kept pushing out videos, and it's cool because you do see like the difference of like when I first uploaded content, like versus now, definitely improved, and it's gonna continue to improve, right? But really happy with how everything is going so far. So that's how it
Yeah.
started.
And if y'all don't know, he's talking about Dark 1985, guest on Shades of Purple, episode 16. So if y'all did not know, and we'll talk about their show here, how they came to be later on, but they have an amazing show Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. I think it's the same time this one is. So it's Tuesdays. Love it. What a Warrior podcast. But we have time for that. What everybody's here for is to kind of understand you as a gamer. Like,
Okay.
where did your story begin? Like, who are you? Like, when did this bug bite you that, like, potentially you like video games?
Hmm.
Like, so, I ask sometimes, this question one or two different ways. Sometimes I ask, what was your favorite game growing up? Or sometimes, what's your favorite memory of a
Hmm.
game growing up? Um, but for this time, I want to ask something, a little bit different. And that is, like, how did you get into game? Like, did you want a game initially, or did your parents just give you a video game system? Did you have a sibling? Like, where how did you get involved in this?
So that's funny because I didn't ask for gaming. Gaming came to me, right?
Oh my
I was kind of
gosh.
like it chose me. It's one of those where it's like I'm just going through life,
I didn't go to
and
gaming. Gaming came to me.
yeah,
Yeah,
it chose me. So the distinctive memory of how gaming began for me was I don't remember what birthday it was, but I was really young and I got a PlayStation. And I had no idea what this thing was. All I know was a box and there was something inside that was supposed to be really cool, right? And I remember my mom hooking it up to a TV and putting the disc in for the first time. And there's only two games I had. I had Frogger and Spyro, the first original games. And I remember I didn't know how to switch the games, so I would always ask her to switch the games for me, right? Because I had no idea what I'm doing. And I remember seeing her getting annoyed and switch the games for me. And sooner or later, I actually learned about it. So that's my distinctive memory of first getting in gaming. And funny enough, thankfully, I still remember that memory because gaming didn't really get bigger for me until, a little bit later. But that was the beginning.
So Spyro and Frogger, great games. And
Yep.
I want to shout out. We got some people coming in. The Legend 350.
Hey, what up,
Welcome,
chat?
welcome. Xbox International, also known as Crazy Louie. Welcome, welcome. Rudix, I see you. And SPG, I see you as well. Thank you all so much for coming out and supporting and figuring out a little bit more about iSO and
Yeah.
what is it? Casual gaming at its finest.
Casual gamer at its finest.
Just amazing tagline. So this was obviously, if it's Spyro and Frogger, this is PS1, right?
Yes, PS1.
This first PlayStation. So you just your parents were like, here, have the. Were your parents gamers?
No, from what I'm like, they play like on Nintendo like every now and then, but they weren't really gamers like that.
So they just like you just showed up. They just showed up with this thing, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know who bought me the gift. I know it was a gift. I don't know if it's for my parents. It could be anybody else, but that's pretty much like how it started for me. Was just boom, I got that as a present, and it just lifted off from there.
Okay, so then you're playing Frogger. You're like, this is the most amazing game ever, and like, so what was the next? Like, what's that next one that you're like, you know what? I like games, but I like that game even more.
I think what really kicked it off is when they got me the first Game Boy. I think that's what kicked.
Wait. The first Game Boy?
Okay,
or,
the Game Boy Color.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
was
actually,
like,
yeah, I actually tried the original one, right? The one where it's like, there's no color. It's the fat one. I don't know what to call it, but then maybe just Game Boy. But Game Boy Color was like the first thing that really got me to gaming. Like, oh, this is crazy. So I guess Pokemon really kicked it off because that was one of the first games I played on that.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So okay. And so which one are you? Pokemon Red or Pokemon Blue?
Oh, it was yellow. So it's when Pikachu was able to follow you in the game.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this is some new age stuff. Like, I don't even think I even played this Pokemon.
Yeah, no, it's the first time like Pikachu was there, and then you could talk to him, and then in the beginning he'd be pissed off at you because he didn't like you, and then the more you played the game, he was like, "Yeah, we homies now, we good. Like, I like you. What's up, man? Like, how's it going?" Like, he used to be happier throughout the game, so it was funny. Yeah, it was pretty.
Oh my gosh, were you one of those kids who would like go to the playground and you would have your Game Boy just playing Pokemon, like your head's down, like you have it cool, pulled out, and you're just like going at it.
Yep. That was when like everyone had it. You showed off your Pokemon. It was dope. The simpler times.
The more simple times, and you just went at it. So I have a confession. I never actually beat a Pokemon game. Like I what is that?
No, I'm listening. I don't know. I'm listening.
I mean, no, I did. Like when Pokemon came out, I think I was like a little, like it was this huge craze, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was just like, already in the army or about to go into the army, and it just wasn't my.
It's like, I'm too cool for Pokemon. That's pretty much the thought.
No, like I saw the cart. Like there was a the cartoon. I would follow the cartoon. And I like Charizard.
There you go, Charizard.
Yeah, I know. I got it.
Charizard. I'm like, okay, we might have to.
I have to cut this one off. I might have to.
No.
Oh my gosh, no! But seriously, and so it wasn't until like later on that I started playing Pokemon. But that's like when they already had like several different colors of games and stuff. But I mean, I played it when I was younger, but I just never beat it. Like it
Right,
wasn't
right.
something that pulled me in. So let me say, like, it wasn't like I was totally foreign to it. It's
Mhm,
just, and this holds to today. Like I was not a handheld gamer.
mhm.
Like I played Game Gear, and I think when Pokemon came out, like even Game Boy Color, I was like, I had Game Gear like 10 years before this. So,
Right.
um, but so you were one of these Game Boy kids. You always have your Game
Mhm,
Boy. Now there's a trend on this show when people come on and they talk about Game Boy. And there's two types of people. And you might create a third group, all right?
okay.
There's the people who get their Game Boys stolen from them, and then there's the group of people who steal the Game Boys. Which are you any in this group of like delinquents and or victims?
I've never had mine stolen. Never.
Never. You
Yep,
never.
never.
Well, did you
Surprisingly.
steal one?
No, no.
You didn't. What do
Nope.
you mean?
I never stole, like, anyone's Game Boy or anything. I was a very good kid. Still very good. Still good. Still good. Very good person.
Okay. All right. So there you go. It's a lot better than Bumblebore. I see you,
Oh,
Louis. Oh my god. I always have to ask because you'll be surprised at how many people have a story about Game Boy being stolen or them taking a Game Boy. So glad that did not happen to you.
yep.
So here we are, early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, with your Game Boy and stuff. Um, d- did you then decide to like I always wonder like what happened? Like how did you graduate from Game Boy? Or are you still a handheld gamer to today?
Yeah, I mean, I got my Steam Deck. Does that count?
Oh
But
my gosh.
oh yeah, let me show the Steam Deck since you wanna. I got that
Oh my
reaction out. You look at this.
gosh.
This is a.
Here's
Oh my
I
gosh,
feel
it's
like
a
Severin
Steam Deck.
Evans should be
Look
here.
at
Look at
that. Look
oh
at
my
that's a Steam
gosh.
Deck. No, it's funny how you say like the whole graduation. It was just a matter of what I got next, because during my whole gaming as a kid, everything was gifts, right? Like Game Boy, I got the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP. Alongside that, I got the PlayStation 2. I never got Xbox until I actually bought it myself in high school. But pretty much that whole time growing up, PlayStation, Nintendo, like constantly up to like PS3, and then tried the 360, and then from there, kind of just bought my own stuff.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
so was there a certain genre? So this is kind of interesting because I haven't heard like someone just saying like, yeah, I was just given console after console. Usually there's stories of hardship and crossing deserts and whatnot to play games, but it seems like they just came to you. So like
Mhm,
what game were you playing on PS2, right? Like or like at this time GameCube, right? These are the
mhm.
kind of the two at that generation. What were you playing during this time?
So I know I'm PlayStation 2. So I got the consoles, but games were a different story, right? Getting games was definitely a lot harder than the actual console. So whenever I got a game, I would play that game multiple times because I never had a choice. So especially if I liked the game more, I would always gravitate to just replaying it multiple times. And Resident Evil 4 is a good example. I replayed that game like easily 20, 30 times by now because when it released on console, like I absolutely loved it. Like that's one of my all-time favorite games. And I beat it so much on PS2, like unlocking everything, getting all the max stars for the different side modes like Mercenary, playing as the alternate story, like replay that game multiple times. But it's because I had other games technically, but this game was better, right? So I played like stuff like that, like Resident Evil. What else sticks out to me? Like Def Jam Vendetta, like games like that. But I mean, there was a lot from the PS2 era. I would say the PS2 era, in my personal opinion, was the best gaming era. Period. And I never played online. I didn't even know that existed until the PS3.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously PS2 highest selling console system generation so far of all time,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? Probably will not be broken. Um, really solidified PlayStation's spot in gaming. Actually, I think this is the same era that put out Dreamcast. Yeah, Dreamcast. I think this is the one that actually killed Sega. So you're playing horror games. You go into Xbox, and why did you get Xbox 360?
Because I gotta say, Xbox 360 definitely did a lot of good stuff, like the whole party chat, just the way the console was. Online was a little bit more stable. Um, just want to try it out. I think party chat was the biggest reason because I don't think the PS3 could do that. You couldn't even join like a party. You had to use the in-game like chat to talk to your friends.
So this was like, you know, I have an issue with you just brought up something that like I have an issue. What happened to those simpler times with Microsoft? Why do they why like cuz like I don't think they charged to do party or to do play with your friends at this time, did they?
I don't remember. I have no idea.
Chat hold me to that. Is it at that point did Microsoft start charging? Cuz Microsoft is the one that started this whole little conundrum where we had to charge to play multiplayer.
I feel like they did. The 360, that's when they had gold, Xbox Live Gold or
Like, is
whatever.
that when they went live with like, that's like is that where they went? Because there's a time where it didn't cost you anything, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
because
sure this.
PS3 was free. That was like it was like, oh, I don't gotta pay to play online, but Xbox you did.
So,
Yeah,
Severin says Xbox Live was always charged for. So, but PlayStation it wasn't. Because I
it
remember
was yeah,
playing and it wasn't being charged at one time, and then it was charged
on the
throughout.
PS4. PS4 they started charging. I'm pretty sure.
PS4 did just like Microsoft and started charging.
Yeah.
And then since then, yes, you had to have an Xbox Live to play online. There you go, Crow. Wow. So could we say, chat, that Microsoft created this thing where we have to pay to play with our friends online?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's fair to say. Because
Oh,
PS3 didn't do it. They were free. That was like a selling point, right? You didn't have to worry about paying for online, period.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what. No, I just was trying to clarify because coming from, and you will talk about it in a second. Coming
Mhm.
from, I was gone from gaming, then I came back to gaming, and it was free to play with people, and now I'm having to pay to play with people. And I find that somewhat, if you
Yeah.
can't tell, it's kind of a
I mean, on
little.
PC, you don't
It's,
need to do that. Just saying, PC is still the same way.
I do, but now I have to like pay to like play my games, my PC games in the cloud. It's like I have to pay for everything now.
You got.
Like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened. It's like every single little thing right now. It's like pay me for this, pay me for that. And I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
It's the gaming industry is against purple. That's all.
Yeah.
I it's what I talk about with my therapist every single week. That's what we go over. No, but so you have, you know, so at this time, because I think I've talked to you before. When did PC gaming become a thing for you?
PC gaming started like 8 years ago.
Oh, so recent. It's a recent phenomenon. So you kind of went through that entire 360 era, PS3 era. You're purely
PS4,
yes.
Xbox One. Yeah, because I had a PS4. I never had the Xbox One yet, so I always knew PC gaming was cool. But it was more expensive. That was the part that I never got into. I was like, I can't afford it, so I never got one. So when I started being more independent, on my own, that's when I bought my first gaming laptop, and then from there, I was sold.
So you
Yeah.
and chat. I'm going to be there. 8 years is recent. I just want to say that
That's
8 years.
that's not recent. I mean,
Oh my
I don't know
gosh,
about
y'all,
recent. No,
man,
I
8
mean,
years is like,
maybe when you say like a few years, okay, yeah, I can kind of see it. But anything
oh
more than a
my
few is like
god,
it's been a
8 years is
while.
recent.
It's been a while.
I mean,
No,
it's not like it's not like I can hold my breath for 8 years. Okay, I'm
I
not saying it's
mean,
like that recent, but I'm
right,
saying it's
right,
like,
yeah.
relatively speaking, like if we were saying Xbox 360 and PS3, and then you say 8 years,
Hmm.
well, technically that's more recent than PlayStation 3, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
sure,
Oh
yeah.
my god, am I wrong with this one? What is going on? What am I going?
I mean, I just 8 years ain't recent. I mean, it's okay. It's okay.
What's what's
It's
up, Cherry Man?
okay.
What's up, Cherry? Cherry Man. ISO here. He has your new favorite system. You and Severin. You know,
Oh yeah.
you
Oh yeah.
all
The
you
best.
Steam Deck people who like to play in the Steam Deck and try to get everybody else to buy one.
It's amazing.
Um, it's amazing.
It's
I'll wait for
amazing.
version 4 before
Version
I get
4?
it.
Okay. Don't worry, it'll be very recent for you by the time that happens. Yeah, like 8 years ago, the Steam Deck released. That was recent. Now they got the 4th one. I'm like, "Okay." Okay, if
Oh
you
my
say so.
gosh! Oh, look at this. Oh my god! I need to stretch out for this. This is gonna be interesting. Oh my god. Okay. I got it. Okay. I see. I see
Yep,
that.
yep, yep.
Let's take a little shot there. Okay. Cool. 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 So ISO during this time. Now I don't know if you want to. Actually, ISO, I'm going to send you something in private chat because I don't know if you want
Okay.
to talk about it.
Okay.
Um,
Send it. How do I look at private chat? Where is this? Oh,
it'll
I see
pop
it.
up.
I see it. Yeah, we can talk about it.
Can we talk about it?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
All right. All right. All right. Because I want to give as much respect to all the people who serve. So if y'all did not know, ISO Motion Gaming, the person you all see here who just took a shot at your girl Purple, is one of the few, the proud, the Marines. So you are a veteran, you are a Marine.
Yes.
And because throughout November, we've been talking to a lot of Marines. We talked to Joe from Angry Poultry. We talked last week to Vet Cloud Gaming. And now we're talking to you. And so around what time did you join? Like, you're a gamer kid, like you decided to go to the military. Did you always want to go into the military? Or like why the military and why the Marines?
So the military was always something where I knew was like, oh, they're crazy, right? Like the military is but they help you kind of like build up as a person, stuff like that. So, I actually was not trying to join the Marines first, funny enough, but I'm glad they took me.
Okay.
I was trying to join the Army first, but then whatever situation happened, I went through everything perfectly fine, and then they just randomly said, "Oh, you can't join, go home." Like they never explained nothing to me. They're just like, "We don't know why." That was literally their answer. We don't know why. So I was like, "That's crazy."
Didn't make the cut.
I guess so. Yeah, so
No,
I was like, "That's
go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, it is what it is, right?" I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. So it was no, because like ASVAB, good. Was the fizz was good. It's just at the end when you had to sign the paper, they were like, "Nope." So I did that, and one of the states I came back to my home state, tried to join there. They're like, "Yep, but you can go reserves," and I was like, "Nope, I'm not going reserves. I either go all in or none." And then they wouldn't give me
So
what I
why
wanted.
did you come from a military family? Like why? Like why was that? Did you say like, yo, I want to go to the military? I want to go like all in, be super hua or whatever.
Mm.
Like,
I mean, there was some family in the military, but it wasn't like military heavy.
okay, you just said like that's you play
It's just
Call of
like
Duty one day and you're like,
no, not from
yo,
college. No.
you're like, I want to really do that.
No. It was like I knew what the military was gonna be. Pretty much, it was one of those like I want to improve my life, right? I want to be better, right? So that's why I joined.
So and I've been asking, a lot of people in chat haven't been in the military, may know a family member, may know someone else. And so the reason I'm pushing on this because I think the decision to join the military is a very it's different, for everyone, right? And spending like I think I've said it before, I spent right under 13 years or a little over 12 years in the military. What I would always see is that most people, when they are joining, are either running to something or running from something, right? And I mean that in more like a figuratively
Right.
way of speaking. And it sounds like you're running to something, right? You're running to, or would you say you fall into that other category where you're running from something?
I would say running from. I just wanted to get out the position was because like when you're you're like nothing's going anywhere, right? Like it wasn't like life was bad, but I was like, you know what? I want to do better. Like screw this. Like I'm tired of this, and that's so I would say running from. That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, to me it sounds like running from.
And was this like right after was this high school? Were you one of those people who like recruiter comes by, you're like, yo, I want to sign up, or was there a time in between high school and when you
It
joined?
it was a time in between. So I didn't join until I was like 20. Yeah.
Okay, so you're a little older
Yep.
when you came in, and you decided to go. And so army, you're like, yo, I want to go into the army.
Hmm.
You know, Severin out there. We got a lot of Wind Stars out there, Joe's out there. We got a lot of army people actually in the chat.
Made the bad
Um,
choices. It's okay.
I don't know about that.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know about that.
Could have been a Marine, but it's okay. It's okay. It happens,
no,
right?
no, so it's kind of
you know,
interesting.
funny how my fiance is staring at me because she's a corpsman and she's like giving me "you stupid" look right now.
Oh yeah, female vets got to throw it up.
Yep.
It's the toughest person in that household. I'm telling you that right now. Toughest person.
Yeah, she wild. She a little wild. I thought I was crazy. I don't know.
But so I came from. So my grandfather was a Marine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was a Marine. He fought in Korea. And was one of the first. Well, I'll say that for another time. But he got was shot in the back and stuff, and so during Korea, and I don't know. I think ever since then, my family was like, "No, go Army," because he had a
Mhm.
lot of issues. Like, you can imagine, the Marines in the 1950s, early 1950s, was
Yeah.
not a
Yeah.
really really tolerant type of place. If you get my drift.
Yeah. No, I did. I definitely feel you. Yeah. Yeah.
So I've always had that thing with the Marines. Like to me, the Marines have always been like, each of the branches kind of have their different personalities,
Yep.
right? Marines to me is that kind of more rural country kid, like, knows that you show them a certain way and they shoot like they shoot really well. It's like kind of a certain mentality.
Mhm.
Air Force people, for some reason, I don't know why. It's like every other one was
Like
a
corporation.
military. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They call
Yeah.
the Air Force calls their like, if you go to them for something, they'll be like, my customer, like client or customer.
Yeah.
It was like this really interesting way of like talking. And I'm like, yo,
It's weird. No, they're a whole different breed.
I just need to
They're
get
definitely a
something
different
on
breed.
that plane to drop off over here. Um, the army is like this, just overall, like, we don't really
Mhm.
see any other branch. It's like we can run and we can win the war. Just get out the way.
Yeah.
Like, that's how we think. And then you have the Navy, who, surprisingly, I'm curious, where is your wife from? Because people would think the Navy, a lot of times, people in the Navy, many of them come from the coast, but a very large percentage also comes from like the center of America, where there's like no water at all. So
Mhm.
I'm curious, like, if your wife is, which
She's
one or
she's from
your
Cali.
fiance.
Yes. I mean,
Sorry,
she's pretty much the wifey at this point, but she's
the
from Cali.
wifey. We can call it
Yeah.
the wifey, like
Yeah,
that.
the wifey. Yeah, yeah, the wifey. She knows. She's stuck.
Yeah, you know. So, all right. So she's from the coast. She's from California.
Mhm.
Um, so you go into the Marines, right?
Yes.
Uh, and what did you ever have that moment of like, why did I do this? Or were you like gun ho from the beginning and we're just like, sir, yes, sir,
So
or
the
whatever
the
y'all say?
only the only time I legit wanted to quit was the very first day of boot camp because they deprive you of sleep and you're literally standing all day. I was like, I hate my life. Like, I'm over this. I'm so over. Like, it was bad. It was bad, and
Oh
it
my
was
gosh,
worse.
the standing up is
Yes,
so horrible. Like,
yes, and the worst thing was because I was nervous. I didn't get a lot of sleep, so I was just messed up. Like, I could not like operate or function like normally. I felt like I was like about to like it was bad. It was just really bad. But as soon as you get some sleep, everything else is easy. That first day is what just for whatever reason just killed me. I don't know what it was. The sleep, the anxiety, everything just is hitting you because you're like, oh my god, I'm here, right? It was just bad. It was terrible. But
I
after that,
can
it was so much easier. I mean, it still sucked. Don't get me wrong, but that everything after the first day didn't was not the same. Yeah,
Interesting. And shout out to Banana Killer. I see you out there. Thank you
Banana
so
Killer.
much for coming through. Also an alum of Shades of Purple. So, you get there and, like, I don't know, what do they do? Shave off your hair, you
Mhm.
freak out because you never had a haircut or something. Uh, and then you go through boot camp. And what is Marine boot camp like? So what did you do in the Marines?
I was I was an admin. That's what I did in Marine Corps wise, because so I was in combat. I was a pogue at its finest. Loved it. Everyone hated me because I worked inside. It was dope.
So admin, so is this like, so we have VetCloud Gaming, who is also
Mhm.
42 Alpha, which is kind of considered what would we call it? It's admin to the military, to the army. So where is that what you did in the Marine Corps, or is your admin a little different?
So I was an 0111 personnel specialist. It I don't so I had a very unique Marine Corps experience. I would say I
Okay.
definitely didn't have the typical Marine Corps experience. And I say that because typically you would go to a actual base, right?
Camp
Which
Lejeune
yeah, Camp
or
Lejeune, um,
um,
K-Bay,
yeah,
Hawaii, like an
Cherry
actual
Point.
Marine Corps base, right?
Yeah.
My Marine Corps career, I was always at small units, not of my choice either. Um, so my first duty station was in fact Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
Forza, that's my place.
Yep.
It's the place I was least looking forward to, which by the
Yes.
way, Oklahoma's the most racist place I've ever been to,
I
but that's a
oh,
different story.
I hated that place. Oh my god.
Sorry if anybody's from Oklahoma, it's the
It
most
was
racist place I've ever
crazy.
been to.
But yeah, so I got stationed in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. So, as a new Marine, right? Like trying to figure out my duty station. They told me I'm going there, and I'm like, what is over there? So I guess we have the Marine Corps Artillery Detachment. It's a schoolhouse. So I went there. And what's about small duty stations is you don't do like one thing, you do everything. So as a brand new Marine, a brand new administrative Marine, I had to learn a lot. And at my next duty station, same concept. And I didn't choose that one. So one of the things with the Marines is you get to choose where you get stationed. Like they have to abide by it, right? So I chose three big bases. I chose Pendleton, Miramar, and K Bay, Hawaii, right? I chose those three places. I was like, no, there's a guarantee I'll get one. They ended up sending me to a reserve station in
So you
Sacramento.
still got the reserve somehow.
Yes. So, well, I work with students, and now I work with reservists.
And
So I got
explain,
stationed
so
there.
for people, some people don't understand. So you,
Mhm.
in the military, you have active duty,
Oh yeah.
reservists,
Yep.
National Guard,
Yep.
and then IRR. But so what would you say is the difference between active duty and reservists?
So active duty, obviously, you're pretty much working. You are working for the military full time all the time. Like there's no that's you unless you go on leave. Even when you go on leave is debatable sometimes. Um, but you're still getting paid. As a reservist, you work once a month, 2 weeks in the summer, right? So you're basically a part time, service member. But you are still upheld to the military standards, right? All that good stuff. NJPs, whatever the case is. But pretty much what Seb just said, the weekend warriors, right? IRR is you're out, but basically the
Oh,
military can say,
welcome,
hey, you can
Primo.
come
We
back.
got Primo, another Army Ranger right there. Oh my gosh, we got a whole bunch of Army people. But keep going. Want to just shout out.
But
And
IRR is
Ellis, I see
base
you.
IRR is you did your 4 years, but you still have 4 years left, so you can get out, be a civilian, normal Joe Schmo. But the military will be like, hey, you need to come back, and you don't got a choice unless maybe some crazy. I don't know. I don't really know what the standards or what the stipulations are if they can't take you or can't probably obviously medical certain things like that. But yeah, individual ready reserves.
Interesting. So,
Yep.
yep. So you did in the National Guard. Any National Guards people out there? Let's see what that is.
Because National
Yeah.
Guard is more stateside, so that's the
Yes.
biggest difference I learned. Yeah, because my cousin's husband is in the army and he was a recruiter. So I was asking him, like, yeah, how do you guys recruit for like National Guard, Reserve, Army? And he actually told me more specifics about it. So easiest thing I understood was National Guard is state. You deal with state money. Anything happens, you're gonna go. Army Reserve, you're dealing with federal money. So he's like, if a cool thing he told me, so it's like for the state, let's just say a huge fire happens. If the state runs out of money, guess what? You still have to go to drill, but you might not get paid yet. Like
This
it's
has actually
crazy.
happened. This has happened a couple of times where National Guard. So for those who live in the United States, you may hear some of these. Uh, it may sound like just talk, but there are times like in the news where you'll hear like certain funds are running out and service members are not getting paid. What iSO is talking about is that
Yeah.
situation is where service members still have to go um, and serve, and that could
Yeah.
be fighting fires or and let's make sure like I want to make any National Guards people out there, they also deploy. So like
Yep.
some of the units that saw the most combat during Operation Iraqi Freedom um, were actually Guards units. So, like during those times, those Guards units are activated, and then they will be handed over to the federal government and work in an active capacity in war zones. So it's
Yep.
not just, and they will be more than just like a week. They'll be there like a whole year. Like they are like real time actual active soldiers. So uh, just a little thing. We didn't really talk about that before, so I just want to make that clear. Um, so you did that. So you're going to all these places, and one thing I always thought was kind of cool about the Marine Corps is the Marine Corps actually has like the most variety
Hmm.
in places you can serve, right? Because everywhere there's a U.S. embassy,
Yep.
there is a Marine detachment. So you could be like in Timbuktu. Actually, no, you couldn't really be there, but you could be, somewhere like crazy, like bum F nowhere.
Yep.
Or you could be in like really nice, like Bahamas, like really nice areas.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
pretty
always
dope.
thought the Marine Corps was like interesting in that fact that they like really runs the gamut. And so you have your traditional Marines who like big units, jar heads, like just Marine type of stuff. And then you have like I feel like the other half of Marines who are
Hmm.
just like you, kind of this very non traditional Marine Corps path.
Yeah, and it's like I didn't even choose the path. Like when I first got to my duty, the first duty station the Marine Corps chose for me. I was like, okay. Second duty station, I put in my 3 with my incentive, but I was fine with where I was going, so I was like, I'll take it. That's why because I could have complained. I could have been like, no, I don't want to go there. That's my incentive for reenlisting, which I actually didn't want to reenlist, by the way. I really didn't want to,
So
but
you did. So you realized. So how much was your initial contract for?
4 years.
So you said 4 years. And
Yep.
so just in case everybody doesn't know this, everybody who signs up for the military has a contract of at least 8 years. Some of that's active, some of that's reserved. So at that 8 year mark, you gotta under that, you still have to like you're still kind of owned by Uncle Sam in a way.
Yeah.
So you did 4 years, and
Yes.
you're saying like, all right, so at this time you have enough to go to school, right?
Yep.
You could kind of like you're now I guess 24, so you can kind of go do a lot of stuff. Why did you reenlist?
So, because like, so back to where I was like, you kind of do everything. So I was like, yo, this is BS, because in admin, it's like a thankless job, like there was a lot of work to begin with. And it was one of those where I was like, I was tired of getting shit for it. Right. And it's like, this is stupid. There's only like literally 6 of us, but we have to support thousands of students. We have to support the staff and we still have to work about, other yearly annual needs and other BS that the commands need. And you're in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. That's not the best place ever. I was already like borderline, like, I hate this. The people was good. The command was good. The leadership I had was good. The Marines I worked with were good, but the area didn't help whatsoever. Like they'll be like, "Go do something," and I mean, you've been to Fort Sill. Like, what is there to do? There's the Wichita Mountain Life nearby. Cool, we hiked like
There's a
20,000 times.
casino there. There's a
I don't.
casino
I
at
I
Fort.
never gambled.
Oh my god. No,
Yeah.
just in case anybody finds themselves in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, this is for you, Ellis. Um, the thing I don't like about the casino at Fort Sill, so I've been there. Obviously, I like to go to casinos because a lot of times they have like really good buffets and stuff. And I really like blackjack.
Oh, I
So
like blackjack a lot
I
too. Right now, I
love
do. Yeah.
blackjack, right? And so the thing I don't like about Fort Sill's casino, and this is the same way in a couple of these other states that have casinos that not named Vegas or Atlantic City,
Mhm.
um, you have to pay for every single hand. So like you play, like let's say you wager five, ten
Mhm.
dollars. You have to pay $1 just to gamble.
Oh wow.
Well, yeah, it's like kinda crazy. So, like, you could be like, doing okay, but before you
Mhm.
know it, you're like out of money because that goes by really quick.
Yeah,
So
that
they like,
sucks.
yeah, they do. So they have a tax on there, like every hand they tax you. So,
Jeez.
but that's Fort Sill. So that's what you can do in Fort Sill. There's also a Cracker Barrel there, but
Yeah, I mean,
that's
you can only do so much after like 3 years of being there. So it's kind of like, I mean, it's Fort Sill, right? So I was kind of like over it. But then again, because I had good leadership, they're like, no, you're a good Marine. You can learn so much more.
They
See
got
what
him.
else, see
Got
what
him.
else, yeah, see what else there is other than Fort Sill. And I was like, you know what, you're not wrong, right? See something else other than Fort Sill. I was like, okay. So I got to the reserve station. Oh my God. I thought a lot of work was at Fort Sill. No, it was even worse at the reserve station.
Got
100%
him.
worse. It
Reeled
was,
them in.
they got me. Because so what reserves is a whole different game. And I mean, I knew a lot with admin, right? What to do with the active side. I was very knowledgeable in my job. When it came to reserves, that knowledge is thrown out the window.
Wait.
It's a 180 difference. So I had to relearn a whole thing. And it's even worse because it got worse because the billets there for admin used to be 3. When I got there, they pushed it down to 2. So me and another staff sergeant had to literally do all the work for all the reservists, for the active duty staff. On top of that, I also supported in funeral honors for service members, for
Ooh,
Marines who
so a
passed.
lot of drill.
So I had to deal with that too. So it was rough. It was pretty rough. Yeah.
That's actually a really you know, at least in the Army, and I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
for the Marines, it's actually a privilege to serve on those details. If y'all did not catch that, ISO, explain what that the honors you talked over it, but it's actually a
Mhm.
very humbling experience to serve on like a basically a funeral detail.
Yeah, I've done like hundreds of them. So like the typical, like you fold the flag, present it. Seeing different families' reactions is definitely a eye opener. It's something I didn't think I was going to experience too much, but that's actually what you do at a reserve station. Um, it's different. It's very different.
No, yeah, I think for me, so each detail has to have like a lieutenant or a captain, depending on who it is. And I found that to be like the most humbling experience to hand a flag
Yeah.
to a family member who lost their service member in combat. Sometimes it's in combat. Sometimes, unfortunately, there were a lot of times that we dealt with people who had self-inflicted wounds. It's a very interesting time to do that. So, yeah, when I was at Fort Hood and Fort Bliss, I had to do that. And then obviously, unfortunately, also have to have the when someone passes in the line of duty, you know,
Oh yeah.
going out and telling the family, like you've seen it in movies, like car drives up,
Yeah.
uniformed people come out, they knock on the door. We still do that. So like if we have to notify someone that their loved one's passed, we do it in person. It's not
Okay.
like we call it in. Like there is an actual two people will drive up and tell the family like, hey, this is what's happening. And sometimes we can't tell them what happened per
Yeah.
se, but that's also one of those things that people just don't think about, that like that military people many times have to have um, an extreme amount of emotional intelligence just to do it. It's not always about like war or shooting people.
Yeah.
The vast majority of the time it's about dealing with human emotions. So uh yeah, so and I see y'all talking there, Primo, Severin, all these people uh going back and forth. Thank you all so much for keeping chat lively. Um, oh, that's a pretty big honor as well, Severin, to be on part of the honor guard. All right. So you did that.
Mhm.
You're loving the Marines. And when I say you're loving the Marines, you're not loving the Marines. Uh, you decide eventually that you're going to get out,
Yep.
right? You're like, I'm done with this. I'm
Mhm.
getting out. But the military wasn't all bad for you, right? Because
No, it
I mean,
wasn't. It
right.
wasn't all bad. It really wasn't. But so I loved it, right? I love the Marines. It's what we do. It was my birthday recently, Marine Corps birthday, November 10th. 1775, all that good stuff. Fiance hates it when the Marine Corps birthday happens. because I just mess
Just
with her.
happened last
Her
Thursday. Last
Yep, just
Thursday.
happened. It's funny because her brother's a Marine, so we mess with her. We play the, Halls of Montezuma, which is our song. It's hilarious. She's like, "You guys need to leave me alone." She tries to run away on November 10th, but it doesn't work out so well.
No, I think well, Marines are amazing. But see, that's what I was about to get to. So the
Mhm.
military wasn't all bad for you because you
No.
actually found your fiance,
Yep.
you know? And so it was kind of worth it, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, 100% worth it.
This and from what we've been told, uh you definitely you dated up. So from
I dated up.
you dated up. She kind of settled for you, but you lucked out on that one.
Hey,
Uh
hey, it worked out in the end. It worked out in the end. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, exactly, Primo. Um, so you decided to get out.
Yep.
Any reason? Were you just done? Were you like, hey,
I
I've done my time, or
Yeah, pretty
anything?
much I was just over it. I mean, with the command I was out, with the amount of funerals, with the amount of I mean, I've also done color guard. I've done that actually throughout my whole Marine Corps career. Color guard, retirements, events. Some events
Wow.
were super dope. I've done events for Vietnam vets. I mean, I've actually done a lot now that I think about it. Even though I never got the opportunity to deploy. I've been at non-deployable units, which was kind of annoying. I never got to go anywhere. Even at the reserve station, even if they got deployed, I had to stay. That's how my billet was. So it was funny. I never got to deploy, but thinking back, I got to do so many events, such as that, with color guard, did it for like basketball games, toys for tots. Like I've done a lot of extracurricular activities I didn't think about that actually really those actually meant a lot to a lot of people. Celebrations of life for other service members who passed, but they already had their stuff done, but the family wanted the Marines to come back, stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting now that I think about it.
No, it's definitely. I think, like I said, I think the military's in definitely, that situation where you feel like your life is kind of like at a standstill and you're just like, I need to go do something. Or for sure, if you ever want to feel like you're part of something larger than yourself, I think it is one of those very eye-opening, humbling experiences when you
Yeah.
actually look at the entire. I don't know, I just think it's interesting. When I was going through basic, I used to, you get those ideas like, man, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Especially when you're young. Like I think I did basic at 17. And so, or I started at least. And you kind of think like, this sucks. Like I want to go do something else like other kids my age. And then you
Yeah.
just like kind of see everybody else and they're all kind of in that same boat. And the same thing with deployment. Like everybody's missing birthdays, everybody's missing holidays, everybody's doing that. And you kind of have that bond. And I think that's why I like to talk to Marines, just because just I don't know. It's like you like someone proper is placed at this about Stadia, but I think veterans also, I could say, like there's something there. Like you get it. Like you kind of understand something is bigger
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
than 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 what we see. It's like another world. Like especially
Yeah.
when you're in the
No, it
military.
it definitely is another world, and that's what makes it better for myself and my fiance. Because I always hear stories about, Marines having to explain to their significant other why they have to do this, and they're like, "That doesn't make sense." It doesn't make sense. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. But it's just the military, but people just don't understand it. So like, I'm out, but she's still in. She'll explain to me like, "Oh, this is so stupid at work," but I get it. Right? And it just helps. It helps that she understood what I had to deal with, and I understand what she has to deal with. So the communication is stupid easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's I think, in my regular job after people always hold this against me. They're like, they'll say my name. We'll say it's Purple for now. They're
Mhm.
like, Purple, you're too straightforward. Like you need to like be a little happier.
You need to
There's actually a
sugarcoat
couple of there's some people in chat who know who I am, like who I actually am. They'll just be like, you're too straightforward. I'm like, I don't get it. It's so easy to be super straightforward. It's like, why do I need to like do small talk? Like I don't get it.
Yeah.
So I think yeah, veterans are cool. And in their own way. They
Yep.
also annoy me. Uh, but all right, so let's get back. So you do the military. Were you a gamer in the
Mhm.
military?
Oh yes, yes. That's actually
Okay.
that's when I bought my first laptop because I'm over here like a little E2, right? I got some money and I'm like, I'll buy this laptop.
Okay.
And yeah, that's where I started it for PC side.
Gaming laptop. And what game
Yep.
were you playing?
Battlefield 4. That's what I was playing.
Battlefield 4.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. And so you're just like going hardcore at that.
Oh, sorry, my dog. My dog. I'm sorry.
I know. Can she come on?
Oh, you want to see her? Yeah, let me go grab her.
Yeah,
Let me grab her. Yeah.
like y'all, if y'all have not seen iSo's dog, this is like one of the cutest dogs you can see. That's why I'm like actually asking for the dog to come on. Is that
Oh,
oh, who is this? Who
it's
is
the
this?
puppy.
Oh
It's
my
the puppy.
gosh.
Kai, look at the screen. Look at the screen. Look right here. There you go.
Oh my
Here.
gosh. Look at
Look over here.
that.
Look. Oh, there you go. You ugly. There you go.
That's like the prettiest face on screen right now. What are you talking about?
She's a cute
Look.
puppy.
Oh my god. Who is
Okay,
it?
yeah,
What's her name?
her name is Kai. I'm gonna put her down.
Kai.
She is not entertained.
Well, she's eating.
Oh,
so-
and she was eating. My bad. We stole you from your food.
Does
Yeah,
the corpsman want to be on camera as well?
Oh no.
She doesn't. Okay. I was trying to get her. Trying to get her on there, y'all. We always hear so much about her. So
she's a mini Australian Shepherd.
we're talking about the dog, not the corpsman.
Yes, the dog.
Yes.
No, that's no, not the Corbin. No. The puppy.
Like we're
The
talking
puppy's,
about the dog on this one. I'm so like,
She asked what I was.
No, she was talking about the dog.
Oh,
But she was asking if you wanted to go on camera.
not today. There's an
Not
occasion
tonight.
which we will do a face reveal.
Yep.
There
no,
will
no
be
worries,
TV.
no worries. We're not trying to push. Yes, yes, exactly, Primo. It did sound like that, right, Primo? Yeah, like it was like we're not talking. So you got into PC gaming.
Yep.
Doing a bunch of stuff. You started off with a gaming laptop. You then were like, "Yo, love this." When did you
Mhm.
graduate to like an actual full-on PC gaming?
So I had the laptop, got to my first duty station. I was like, yo, this is dope. Like, I love this. I bought a pre-built PC. I don't remember how long into it, maybe like within a year of when I got there. It was fairly fast because, that's when I started learning more about it, right? Because the gaming laptop was an introduction. I didn't know a lot about PCs yet, but it was the simplest thing to get without having to worry about all the extra stuff. Then once I had that and it was like finalized, like, yeah, no, this is the way. This is how I want to game. That's when I started learning more about PCs, the components, what makes it work. It's not that difficult. Watch YouTube videos. I learned about it. Brought my pre-built and then built another PC. And then pretty much when I built that PC, moved that PC to a different one. And now I have the one right here.
Oh my gosh! And can we see it? Because it's a nice, pretty. It's like got lots of lights and fans and stuff, doesn't it?
Let me see. I think I gotta move it that way. Yep, there
Yep.
it goes.
And
Oh,
don't
look, you
worry.
see the Steam Deck. Oh, look at that.
Oh my gosh! Look, Severin and Cherryman going crazy right now. Look, y'all. It's your friend, the Steam Deck.
Hey, let's go. Yep,
So
that's
there,
the PC.
that's the PC. Look at that. So that's what it looks like. Nice. Cherryman's still there.
Hey.
So you got the PC. You like
Yep.
upgrading it. Yeah.
Yep.
And what are the specs on your PC? Just so
Oh, you should know.
who
You copied me. You know what the specs are.
Whoa,
You know what the
whoa.
specs are.
No, I'm saying
You know what it
there's
is.
a lot of people out in YouTube land who get, swear like hearing specs on PCs like porn for them. They get super off on that type of stuff.
So yeah, I have a i7 9700K. I have a 3080, bunch of fans. DDR4 RAM, the main stuff. I mean, a couple SSDs, a couple normal hard drives. I mean, a typical. I have a 900, I throw 1,000-watt power supply now. I think.
Big numbers, machines, great
Components.
huge stuff. Exactly, Primo. That's all you need. So have that. And so if you have a PC, why go get a Steam Deck?
It's basically a mini PC but portable. It's actually pretty dope. like Doc was giving me a lot of stuff. He's like, "You're not gonna use it," and I'm like, "I know I'm not gonna use it a lot. Like, you act like I'm trying to make this. You think I'm gonna get the Steam Deck and replace it with my PC? Like, that's crazy. Hell no, nope." But I use it pretty consistently. It's actually been a pretty it moved into how I game more because it just replaced, when you're chilling in bed, instead of using your phone, I use a Steam Deck.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
and I
know,
just
and
play specific games that are perfect for, like Persona 5 Royal, perfect on a Steam Deck.
I think Wit W27 has a Steam Deck too for everybody out there. I think half the chat has. I think Cammy's about to get a
Hey,
Steam Deck. Look, everybody's just running over to get the Steam Deck. I just don't know if I
it's
get it.
just
I
a
get it. I get it. As long as you're gaming, you're good with me. I get
yeah,
it.
it's just a portable PC, like a weaker PC. I mean, it's dope though. The only thing is like it is fairly large for what it is. Yeah,
No,
and the battery sucks.
that's why I'm waiting for Steam Deck 4.
Yeah,
Just gotta get it then. If I get it, I don't know. I may not even be gaming by then, but we'll see. We'll see. So,
it'll buff. It'll buff.
you,
It'll be recent, for you.
oh my God, Severin, stop lying. You did not name your Steam Deck Maria.
Oh my gosh, I don't have a name for mine. I just call it the Steam Deck.
Oh my God, you didn't. Severin, stop it. You did not name a Steam Deck Maria. So nah, I think that's kind of cool. So like, what are you doing now? Like, right? We've talked about your gaming journey. You're a content creator.
Mhm.
How did you start your content? How did you start the What a Warrior podcast? Like, where did this idea come to you to start that?
It's because when like Doc was doing his stuff and Dakota, which he does mainly Twitch stuff. I mean, we're all friends, so we're like, let's do a podcast. And I was like, yo, we have to come up with a name that's not generic as hell. And we're like, What a Warrior. Let's do a What a Warrior podcast. And you know what? It stuck and we did it. It's unique. There's nothing like it. That's where it started because we're all just friends and we want to talk about gaming.
No, that we got to keep chat going here. So, Severin, tell me, how would you naming your Steam Deck after your girlfriend Maria? Like, wouldn't that just mean it's Maria's Steam Deck? I don't know. I'm like, wouldn't that? Couldn't she claim that? Like, I'm just curious.
That's true.
Don't give up gaming, Purple. Don't worry, Jerry. I'm not good. I don't think I'll ever give up gaming. Define gaming. As y'all know, my favorite platform is the chessboard, and I think it's actually an addiction. I have to play chess every day. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'll ever give it up. Just being dramatic, Chariot Man. You know me. No, because hers doesn't have the etching on the back. Yeah, but yours is called Maria. And
yeah, so it's like Maria's Steam Deck.
Exactly. That's what I would think. Like, I'm just saying.
Oh, Maria, this is your Steam Deck? No, it's Sev's. And it's like, but it
No,
has your name on it. Like,
exactly.
yeah,
Like,
it has your name on it.
on
Yo. That's how I would literally react. Like, oh, this yours? I didn't know you had it. Like, no, that's not mine.
No, like you see him like on the subways on the bus. It's like, that's Maria. It's like, yo. And especially Severin, right? Because he's like 6'5". It's like, you are not Maria.
Yeah, you're not Maria.
I'm gonna take that from you.
And if you are named Maria, I don't have no problems with it.
Oh my god! So we started this with Doc, and talk to us about you and Doc's relationship. So we asked Doc the same question about him describing you.
Mhm.
How would you describe Doc Dark 1985?
I would describe him as passionate.
Passionate?
Yeah, passionate.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what?
I would describe Doc as a joke. But no,
let me let Doc know. Like, oh, yo, hop on this. Go to the podcast right now.
Doc, but this is what Doc does. Ask Ash. Like, he doesn't come to his friends' interviews. You know what I mean?
I didn't tell him though. I didn't.
He doesn't come to his friends' interviews. So that's what happens when you don't
Here,
come.
I will text the Doc Dark right now.
Oh, like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do
No, I
that.
got it. I got it. I
How are
got
you
it.
described?
No,
No,
that's how
Ash,
it's
it
done.
is.
Passionate.
So why would you say Doc's passionate? And we all know who Doc Dark is, right? He
Yeah,
comes on
there's
with
levels of
it
layers to this.
with his tank top on. He, doesn't do anything. Has what 6,000 subscribers.
Killing it.
Um, doing yeah, just doing awesome. Uh, why would you say passionate?
I say passionate only because, I know Doc in real life. So I've seen him like cool. I've seen him like when I say passionate, like when you really like care for something, right? So like I've seen that from a cool perspective, from like like getting angry perspective. And I just thought it was hilarious. So that's why I say passion.
So he has that. He just has emotion. It's a Dominican
Yeah.
thing. And Ash, what was the Marine question?
Oh, she had a
If you
main
have your
question.
yeah, Ash, if you can restate your Marine question. Um, I don't think Doc is in the. I don't think he would be a
Oh, I don't
horrible
know.
service. He would be a horrible service member if he was.
Yeah, I'm
So
not sure. I don't know.
I don't. But but so passionate. So you decided to do this show
Yes.
with Doc. This passionate dude from this small island. Oh, he's not from DR. He's from Jersey. So he goes from a crappy place to a crappier place. But I'm joking. I'm joking, y'all. Calm down. Anybody from DR? Calm down. I'm not stuff. But yeah, Ash, if you're still there, we'll get the Marine question up. But so you start this show with him,
Mhm.
and it just takes off, and like you all have a really great friendship. I think y'all
Yes.
balance each other out really well. I think some of the funniest times for me, because it's your show, right? Doc is
No,
just
no,
like, no,
it's
it's your show. Because there's times where Doc will like purposely like or not, he just like goes wandering around,
Mhm.
wants to start fights with everybody, wants to get really passionate, as you say, right? Just talking nonsense, right?
Mhm.
And then you're like, we're not doing that on this show.
Yeah.
And you like put your foot down. So it is your show. Like I've seen it a couple of times where you're like, I'm ending this now.
Yeah.
Behave, go in your corner. And Doc, like the submissive guy he is, goes into the corner.
Oh, whoa. Dang.
Oh
That's
my god.
messed
What
up.
did I
Whoa,
say,
where
Pete?
is he here? I text him. Whoa.
Did we meet any artillery Marines at Fort Sill? I'm sure I've met many people at Fort Sill. Yeah, I still met artillery Marines at Fort Sill, right?
I
I'm
did. Oh
sure.
yeah, I worked with them.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
their
yeah.
admin
It
person.
wasn't really a choice for me. I mean, if for the most part, if you saw any Marines on base, most likely there were artillery Marines. Most likely. But I mean,
Oh,
there's no guarantee because obviously not all Marines do the same job too. So it's like I would say the probability of meeting the artillery Marine while at Fort Sill is pretty high, but it could be someone else too, in a different field.
yeah. And I forgot we do have Jersey people. I think Rouster, you're Jersey, and I think Obi Rose might be Jersey as well. So no offense. Calm down, y'all. Didn't mean nothing with y'all's stuff. But so iSO working we're getting at that point. I know I gotta get you back home sometime. Get it back to the wifey and the doggy here.
Yep.
They're probably like staring at you like, okay, it's over.
Yeah, the dog's staring at me right now. She's right here, just like, yo, what you doing, dude?
But like what's you just crossed over 1,000
Mhm.
subscribers. I'm gonna ask you two things. One,
Okay.
what advice do you have? Because a lot of people on this who come through are smaller streamers. What
Mhm.
advice do you have for smaller streamers who are looking to get to that 1,000 mark?
Right.
What advice is it?
Well, see, so I upload and I did streaming, so it's kind of hard for me to say, but I would say YouTube, we all know that YouTube and some other places like Twitch, there's a specific way to grow, and there's a specific way to grow fast if you want to. Or there's your way where you just do what you want, you have fun, and you grow that way. You're not worried about the algorithm per se. You're not worried about playing what will get people to watch your stuff. Like, no, you're playing what you want to play, and people one way or another find your stuff, watch your content, and just like it. Um, that's kind of the position I'm in. You know, there's ways to grow the channel that I know if I specifically talked about Call of Duty or specifically talked about Valorant, for example, like just playing that, I know my channel would grow faster because it's focused on that specific game, right? But I can't do that. I find that to be extremely boring to focus on one game or one particular topic. So I do anything, and that what it hurts my channel. It does. I don't care. I have fun. I play whatever games I want. People come by, they enjoy the content, they subscribe. I just upload whatever. But at the end of the day, it's all gaming related. So
Right.
as long as to me it's gaming related, I don't care. But there's ways to grow, and if you want to grow, YouTube will tell you how to grow. But if you don't care and you just want to have fun, just do whatever.
Do whatever, and you kind of
Yep.
did. You kind of did it your way, and that's speaking of the devil, and
Yep,
I
Doc
should
Dark.
say the devilito or diabolito. Let's say little devil. He said he respected you. I remember when we crossed over that barrier, and he said you did it your way. He did his little guest call, and I would say that much respect to you on that, and doing it your way. Now that you're kind of over that hump, you are monetized.
Mhm.
What's next for your channel? Are you going to just continue kind of the same path, or are you looking at doing something different going forward?
So I'm definitely trying to do more, like, I guess, how would I word it? So I guess more like performance things that, like, on the Steam Deck, I'm showing games and how it performs. Um, More unboxing stuff. So I have something else on the way, just waiting for it to get here, doing an unboxing video. So I did that with the Steam Deck. Excuse me. I also did it with my new desk mat. So like little things like that, right? A little bit of variation from just gaming per se, but a little bit more, I guess, spice to it. So I'm just kind of like have a little bit more variety on the channel and continuously try to get better at editing, putting those together. But yeah, just pretty much slowly getting better and better as time goes on, learning as I go.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I think we're all learning here. We're all trying to just see where this takes us. I am super happy that I got to meet you, iSo. I first came across your stuff because Doc, like I was following him, and then I didn't follow him
Mhm.
that much, and then he came back and he mentioned you in one of the videos, and I started watching your What a Warrior podcast, and I was like, I like this because you're a little bit more even keel. Like I know what I'm gonna get with, because
Right.
there are those YouTubers that you just don't know who you're talking to,
Mhm.
right? And I feel like you're kind of consistent a lot of times. And I know you said that's passion for those that you don't know who you're talking to. But I definitely appreciate it
Thank you. Thank
in
you.
all your content. But where can people find you?
Oh, so just pretty much on YouTube, ISO Motion Gaming. Pretty much what I see that Purple has it. So yeah, I mean it's a big variety of gaming stuff. Big variety. Not really one specific game, but what you will see me play consistently is shooters, multiplayer shooters. Right now, Modern Warfare 2 has me hooked. I got like 60 plus hours in that game already. So it's a lot more content with that, streaming wise, and maybe some upload content too. But yeah.
Awesome stuff. And as y'all know, you can find me, Purple Haze, here on Sundays at 8 p.m. and Thursdays at 8 p.m. But I will not be streaming next Thursday because that's going to be Thanksgiving. So I'm
Oh,
not going to do so. We'll
that
not be
makes
here
sense.
next. We'll not be here Thanksgiving. We're kind of entering that holiday season. So just follow on the YouTube community tab. Like I usually will try to keep y'all updated. But again, I will be playing The Devil in Me this Sunday. Looking at the Dark Anthology franchise. I heard it's a pretty good story, and it's a new game that's just released. Actually, I think it just released an hour ago.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so I will be. Well, I won't be playing. I'll be first look on Sunday.
Mhm.
But I am really looking forward to that. And then coming up in 2 weeks from now, I will have another special guest. I'll give you a hint. He is in chat today. He was a little active
Hey.
earlier, but he wasn't there. But Y'all know I try to get y'all all in here. But thank y'all all for for coming through. And any last words, ISO?
Gino, thank you so much for having me on the show. I apologize. I know I was late. I felt so bad. Yeah, I got a new TV. We got an 85-inch TV now. So
What?
yeah, we just bought it and it does 4K 120. I was like, yo, this is gonna be dope.
I got a 75-inch over there.
Oh,
But
nice.
I got that. So I got my TV just real quick for y'all who did not know. I got it so I could play Stadia before it closes.
Oh,
Before
you
so
know,
I
you
could
know what
see. So I could
the
see it before it closed down. So I just recently got it like a week and a half
Mhm.
ago. But I wanted to say I officially saw Stadia on there so I could compare it to the other cloud streaming services.
Yeah, that's what's funny. Stadia was on the box, and I was like, oof. I was like, I don't know about that.
Oh, but look at all these people with their TVs in there. Look at that. I love it. Like Ja has like multiple TVs as we've seen. She showed us her
Jeez.
house one time. But y'all, as y'all know, I'm Purple Haze. The proof is in the playing. And as always, it doesn't matter where you game, how you game, when you game, how much you game, what you game. As long as you're gaming, you're good with me. So that's why, Cherryman, I'm going to continue to game. I love how everybody is throwing out their TV stats. This
Hey,
is so fun. We'll have to do a whole thing on that, like show us your TV. But yeah, I see 85 inches and so forth. So, but with that said, thank you again, everyone. ISO, if you could just stay on, I just want
okay.
to show my appreciation for y'all. But yeah, thanks again, everybody, for coming by and for the support. And if you want to hear some pretty cool music, just keep watching for the next minute. All right, y'all. Bye, y'all.
All right, later.